Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always excited to jump into a new one.
Today we're in New York City. Well, sort of.
Virtually, at least.
Exactly. We're checking out this young woman's video diary. She just moved to the city, and it's all about, you know, figuring out life in a totally new place.
I love that. It's like a firsthand look at those little wins and challenges of starting fresh, right?
You know it. And it's not all about, the big touristy stuff. It's real, everyday moments.
That's what makes it so relatable. It's like we're right there with her.
So she starts her day off pretty normal. Oatmeal, peanut butter, and strawberries.
Sounds familiar.
But even with something as simple as peanut butter, she has this whole internal debate about choosing the right kind.
Oh, I feel that. It's funny how even with big life changes, those little everyday things can still trip you up.
Right. And then she gets this call from a friend who thought she was dead because she sleeps with her phone on airplane mode.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It's a funny moment, but it also makes you think about how it can feel kind of lonely moving to a new city.
Absolutely. You're away from your usual support system. You have to build a new one from scratch.
Then there's this quick shot of her using a glass straw. It's shaped like a flower, super cute.
I love that. Little details like that can really make a difference.
I know, right? It's like these small choices can make everyday routines a little more fun and eco-friendly too.
Definitely. It's a trend I've noticed, this focus on aesthetically pleasing, sustainable, everyday items.
It's like bringing beauty and intention into even the most mundane parts of your day.
Exactly. Now, we see her getting ready for her day, and it seems like looking good is important to her. She has strong opinions about her nails.
Right. Dip powder versus acrylics. She knows what she wants.
It got me thinking, is this focus on getting ready maybe about feeling confident in a new social environment?
I was thinking the same thing, first impressions and all that.
Especially in a city like New York where things can feel so fast-paced.
Totally. And she's not just getting ready for any day. She's going to an event hosted by ThredUp.
The clothing resale company.
That's the one. And she specifically says she's hoping to make some new friends there.
That's so interesting. It really points to this thing about how tough it is to make friends after college.
Yeah, you don't have those built-in social structures anymore.
You have to be way more proactive about it.
Absolutely. So attending events centered around things you're interested in, like this ThredUp gathering, could be a really good strategy.
Love it. It's all about finding your tribe.
Right, right. Now, we got to talk about her outfit. She describes this off-the-shoulder sweater, brown jacket, scarf, bow earrings.
Sounds stylish.
Super chic.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. She says she wears the same outfits over and over again, even if the coffee shop staff might notice.
Really? That's pretty interesting.
I know, right? It goes against that whole idea of always needing new clothes.
Maybe it's a rejection of fast fashion.
That's what I was thinking. It's like a statement about sustainability and personal style.
And it probably simplifies her life, too. Less decision fatigue.
Totally. Now, as she's finishing up getting ready, she gets this surprise flower delivery from her friend back in California.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't it? It's just a simple gesture, but it clearly meant the world to her.
It speaks volumes about how important those long-distance friendships are.
Absolutely. And how little acts of kindness can go such a long way, especially when you're in a new place and maybe feeling a bit homesick.
I totally agree. That kind of support can make a huge difference. So now she's off on her quest for the perfect cup of coffee.
But hold on. She's not heading to Starbucks. She specifically wants to find a local spot.
Interesting. Why do you think that is?
It seems like she wants to discover something unique, something truly authentic to her new neighborhood.
I love that. She's actively immersing herself in the local culture. And guess what? During her coffee search, she stumbles upon this amazing park.
Yeah. She describes it as like the definition of New York. You can just feel her excitement in that moment.
Isn't that great? It's like those unexpected discoveries are sometimes the best ones.
I know, right? It reminds you to always be open to exploring, even when you think you know a place.
It's about those little surprises that make life so interesting.
Speaking of surprises, she decides to check out this charming bookstore she'd been to before.
Oh, I love a good bookstore.
Me too.
Yeah.
And in a world that's so digital, it's almost like a conscious decision to unplug and connect with something real.
Absolutely. That tactile experience is something special. And it's not just about the books themselves, it's about the atmosphere, the discovery.
So true. Anyway, she ends up buying this book called Life Post Grad.
About navigating your 20s and 30s.
Yep. It totally makes sense given where she is in life right now, right?
Oh, for sure. It's a time when a lot of people feel a bit lost,
Yeah,
Like they're searching for direction.
totally. Like, what's next? What am I doing with my life?
Exactly. And reading about other people going through similar things can be so validating.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Exactly. And she mentions wanting to join a book club, which I think is such a great idea.
Me too. It's a fun way to connect with people over shared interests.
Plus, it keeps you accountable for actually finishing those books.
So true. And you
Wow.
get to hear different perspectives on what you've read. But you know what's funny?
What's that?
She talks about being the weak link in her old book club because she didn't always finish the books.
Oh, that's kind of cute. She's self-aware, which is great.
I know, right? It shows she's willing to put herself out there and try again.
Exactly. It also highlights how important it is to find a book club that's a good fit, right?
Oh, definitely. Both in terms of the books and the people.
Okay, so now the day is winding down and she's getting ready for that thread-up dinner.
The anticipation is building,
And remember, this event is all about sustainable fashion.
which is so relevant these days. More and more people are becoming aware of the impact of fast fashion.
It's a shift toward more conscious consumerism for sure.
And just as she's about to head out, we get a glimpse of her new friend, Hannah.
The one she met through thread-up.
Yeah. Hannah talks about how kind and genuine she is.
It sounds like a genuine connection is forming.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder that even in a city as big and overwhelming as New York, you can still find your people.
It's about putting yourself out there and being open to new possibilities, right?
Exactly. And I think that's a perfect place to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive.
I agree. It's amazing how much we can learn from just one day in someone's life. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How to build those connections in a new place.
Totally. And it's not always easy,
Definitely not. It takes effort putting yourself out there.
like she did with that thread-up event, stepping outside of her comfort zone.
Exactly. And it seems like it's paying off.
I think so too. But, even before that, she seemed to have this knack for finding those little moments of joy throughout her day.
You're right. Like that bookstore visit, that was more than just buying a book.
It was about the experience, right? Disconnecting from the digital world for a bit.
Totally. And there's something so special about being surrounded by books, the smell, the feel of the pages.
It's a sensory experience that you just don't get online.
Exactly. And then you have her exploring that park, just stumbling upon this little oasis in the middle of the city.
Such a cool find. And you could tell she was genuinely excited about it.
It's like a reminder that there's always something new to discover, even in a place you think you know.
And sometimes those unexpected discoveries are the best ones.
Absolutely. It's about staying curious, keeping your eyes open.
Totally. And even something as simple as enjoying a cup of coffee alone can be a little adventure.
Oh, I'm all about those solo coffee dates. It's a chance to just be present with your thoughts, savor the moment.
Right. No distractions, no pressure to be on.
Exactly. It's like a mini meditation in the middle of a busy day.
And in a city like New York, where everything's always go, 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 I bet those moments are extra important.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's about finding those little pockets of peace amidst the chaos.
So it seems like finding balance is key, right? Between the digital and the analog, the hustle and the quiet moments.
Absolutely. It's about creating a life that feels both fulfilling and sustainable.
Speaking of balance, it's interesting that she chose to go to a local coffee shop instead of just hitting up Starbucks.
What do you think that says about her?
I don't know. It seems like she's intentionally seeking out those more authentic experiences.
I agree. It's like she's rejecting the generic in favor of the unique, the local.
And I think that applies to more than just coffee, right?
Totally. It's about being a conscious consumer, supporting local businesses, appreciating the things that make a place special.
It's about choosing quality over quantity, right?
Exactly. And that brings us back to that flower delivery.
Oh, yeah. Such a small gesture, but it clearly had a huge impact on her.
It really highlights the power of thoughtfulness,
It's like those little acts of kindness can really brighten someone's day.
And it's cool. Studies have shown that being kind actually makes us happier too.
No way. Really?
Yeah, it's a win-win. So the next time you have the chance to do something nice for someone, don't hesitate.
It's like spreading those good vibes, right?
Exactly. And fostering that sense of community, which is so important, especially in a big city.
I think you're onto something there. It's funny because we were talking about uniform dressing earlier, and
Wearing the same outfits over and over.
yeah, it made me think about how much pressure we put on ourselves to always look a certain way.
Especially women.
Right. Totally. But she seems to have this confidence about her style. Like she doesn't care what other people think.
I admire that. It's about owning your choices, not being a slave to trends.
And it probably simplifies her life too, you know?
Yeah,
Less time worrying about what to wear.
absolutely. It's about freeing up that mental space for other things.
So for someone who's intrigued by this whole uniform dressing idea, where do you think they should start?
I think it's about identifying those key pieces that make you feel your best. The clothes you always gravitate
The
towards.
ones that are both stylish and comfortable, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And then you can build your wardrobe around those core pieces. Choose quality over quantity. Invest in things that will last.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Find what works for you.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's about expressing yourself, not following someone else's rules.
Love that. And, you know, her whole approach to fashion seems to tie into her love of exploration, don't you think?
Oh, I totally see that. She's open to new experiences, both in terms of clothes and in life in general.
Like with her coffee quest and finding that park, she's not afraid to wander off the beaten path.
And that's what makes life interesting, right? Those unexpected detours and discoveries.
Absolutely. It's about embracing the journey, not just focusing on the destination.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Okay, I'm ready.
What areas of your own life are calling out for exploration? What new adventures are waiting to be discovered?
It's a great question, right? What are we waiting for?
Totally. Sometimes you just need that little nudge to get out there and try something new. Absolutely. Okay, so let's circle back to that thread-up dinner she went to. Remember she was hoping to make new friends there?
Oh, yeah. I'm curious to hear how that went.
Well, you can see right away that she's hitting it off with the other people there. There's this great energy,
Like they all have something in common already.
Exactly, a shared passion for sustainable fashion.
Yeah.
And it's more than just shopping, it's about values.
Right, like being mindful about the impact of your choices.
And then there's this moment where we meet her new friend, Hannah.
The one who mentioned how kind she is.
Yeah. You can tell they're already connecting on a deeper level.
It's like they just get each other.
And it's proof that you can find your people anywhere, even in a city as big as New York.
It's all about putting yourself out there, right?
Totally. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some of the things that really stood out to you about her day?
Well, for me, it's her ability to find joy in the everyday. Those little moments that make life special.
Like that flower delivery
Yeah.
or discovering that cool park.
Exactly. It's about appreciating the simple things.
And for me, it's her commitment to living authentically, making choices that align with her values.
Right. Like with her clothes, her coffee, even her approach to making friends.
It's inspiring, isn't it? It's a reminder that we all have the power to create a life that feels truly meaningful.
I think so too. And it all starts with being intentional about the choices we make, right?
Absolutely. So as we say goodbye to this episode, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder. In a world that's constantly pushing us towards busyness and productivity, how can we make sure to prioritize those moments of pause, reflection, and connection that truly nourish us?
It's a great question, and one that we should all be asking ourselves. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We hope you've been inspired to embrace those simple joys, seek out authentic connections, and create a life that feels truly fulfilling. Until next time.